Yeshua stood on a level place and spoke to a great multitude of disciples. And he said, "There is not a good tree effectuating corrupt fruit, nor again a corrupt tree effectuating good fruit. For each tree is known by its own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. The good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and the evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth that which is evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth is speaking. And why are ye calling me, Lord, Lord, and ye are not effectuating the things which I am saying? Everyone coming to me and hearing my words and effectuating them, I will show you to whom he is being like. He is being like to a man building a house, who dug and went deep, and laid a foundation upon the rock. And a flood having become, the stream broke against that house, and could not shake it, because it had been well built. But the one having heard, and not having effectuated, is being like to a man having built a house upon the earth without a foundation, against which the stream broke, and immediately it fell in, and the ruin of that house became great." Luke chapter 7. After he had ended all his sayings in the ears of the people, he entered into Capernaum. And a certain 100 ruler's bondservant, who was valuable to him, was sick and at the point of death. And when he heard concerning Yeshua, he sent to him elders of the Yehudim, asking him that he would come and save his servant. And they, when they came to Yeshua, besought him earnestly, saying, "He is worthy that thou shouldst do this for him, for he loveth our nation, and himself built us our synagogue." And Yeshua went with them, and when he was now not far from the house, the 100 ruler sent friends to him, saying to him, "Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldst come under my roof. For what reason neither thought I myself worthy to come to thee, but say the word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under myself soldiers. And I say to this one, Go thou, and he is going, and to another, Be thou coming, and he is coming, and to my bondservant, Effectuate thou this, and he is effectuating." And when Yeshua heard these things, he marveled at him, and turned and said to the multitude that followed him, "I am saying to you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel." And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the bondservant whole. And it was soon afterwards that he went to a city called Nain, and his disciples went with him, and a great multitude. Now when he drew near to the gate of the city, behold, there was carried out one that was dead, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said to her, "Weep not." And he came near and touched the bier, and the bearers stood still. And he said, Young man, to thee I am saying, be thou raised. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he gave him to his mother. And fear took hold on all, and they glorified the God, saying, A great prophet was raised among us, and the God hath visited his people. And this report went forth concerning him in all the Judea and all the region round about. And the disciples of Johannan told him of all these things. And Johannan, calling to him 2 of his disciples, sent them to the Lord, saying, Art thou he that cometh, or look we for another? And when the men were come to him, they said, Johannan the baptizer hath sent us to thee, saying, Art thou he that cometh, or look we for another? In that hour he cured many of diseases and plagues and evil spirits, and on many that were blind he bestowed sight. And he, having responded, said to them, Having gone, tell ye to Johannan what things ye saw and ye heard. Blind ones are receiving sight, lame ones are walking, lepers are being cleansed, and deaf ones are hearing. Dead ones are being raised. Poor ones are having good tidings preached to them. And blessed is he whosoever shall find no occasion of stumbling in me. And when the messengers of Johannan were departed, he began to say to the multitudes concerning Johannan, What went ye out into the wilderness to behold? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft garments? Behold, they that are gloriously apparelled and live delicately are in kings' courts. But what went ye out to see? A prophet? Yea, I am saying to you, and much more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, who shall prepare thy way before thee. I am saying to you, among them that are born of women, there is none greater than Johannan, but the smaller one in the kingdom of the God is greater than he. And all the people, the one having heard, and the publicans, they justified the God, they having been baptized with the baptism of Johannan. But the Parishaya and the law experts rejected for themselves the counsel of the God, they not having been baptized under him. Whereto then shall I liken the men of this generation, and to what are they like? They are like children that sit in the marketplace and call one to another, who say, We piped for you, but ye did not dance. We wailed, and ye did not weep. For Johannan the baptizer is come eating no bread, nor drinking wine, and ye say, He hath a demon. The Son of the Man is come eating and drinking, and ye say, Behold, a gluttonous man, and a wine-bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. And the wisdom was justified by all her children. And one of the Parishaya desired him that he would eat with him. And he entered into the Parishai's house, and reclined. And behold, a woman who was in the city a sinner. And when she knew that he was reclining to eat in the Parishai's house, she brought an alabaster cruse of ointment, and standing behind at his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears, and wiped them with the hair of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. Now when the Parishai that had bidden him saw it, he spoke within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have perceived who and what manner of woman this is that toucheth him, that she is a sinner. And Yeshua answering said to him, Simon, I have somewhat to say to thee. And he saith, Teacher, say on. A certain lender had 2 debtors. The one owed 500 denarii, and the other 50. When they had not wherewith to pay, he forgave them both. Which of them therefore will love him most? Simon answered and said, He, I suppose, to whom he forgave the most. And he said to him, Thou hast rightly judged. And turning to the woman, he said to Simon, Seest thou this woman? I entered into thy house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she hath wetted my feet with her tears, and wiped them with her hair. Thou gavest me no kiss, but she, since the time I came in, she hath ceased not to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but she hath anointed my feet with ointment. For what reason I am saying to thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much, but to whom little is forgiven, he is loving little. And he said to her, Thy sins are forgiven. And they that reclined with him began to say within themselves, Who is this that even forgiveth sins? And he said to the woman, Thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. And it was soon afterwards that he went about through cities and villages, preaching and bringing the good tidings of the kingdom of the God, and with him the 12, and certain women who had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities. Maria that was called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had gone out, and Johanna the woman of Cusa, Herodes' steward, and Shushanna, and many others, who served to them of their substance. And when a great multitude came together, and they of every city resorted to him, he spoke by a parable. The sower went forth to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside,